All right, folks, we are back with yet another film review from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' recent game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. In this one, we're going to be looking more at some positives. We're going to be looking at the 3 touchdowns that Tom Brady threw in this game. 2 to Russell Gage, 1 to Chris Godwin. And the first one we're going to be looking at occurred a little bit earlier on in the game. This was a touchdown to Russell Gage. And again, hey, you guys can finally see the cursor that I have on these videos. So the previous play that had occurred here was actually an incompletion to Russell Gage, covered by Jermaine Pratt. Very good linebacker for the Bengals in his own right. Now, if we take a look at this play, the Bucs have 6 players down on the offensive line. K-Dot is in there. They have 3 out wide and a running back next to Tom Brady. Let's see what occurs on this play. Russell Gage is on the upper left-hand side of your screen. So Tom Brady sends Fournette out. He's going to go out and swing out for a pass, and the Bengals do a pretty good job of covering that. You have the member of the secondary up here that is going to be covering on Leonard Fournette. They are only rushing 4 in this situation, so you do give the benefit to the Bucs. And I will say this, it is very tough in some situations for an offense to score in these types of scenarios. Why do I say that? Well, you have so many Bengals defenders in coverage in this situation. Yes, you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bucs going out for passes. If you do want to count K-Dot in this scenario, he's pretty locked up with Jermaine Pratt in that situation. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bengals in coverage against 4 Buccaneers wide receivers. It's pretty tough advantage for the Bengals there. And as I said, K-Dot is pretty much wrapped up with Jermaine Pratt. He does eventually disengage from that block and goes out for a route. So it is 7 Bengals defenders covering 5 Bucs pass catchers. Still, advantage goes to the Bengals. Tom Brady, he is waiting. Russell Gage is there. And this is where I think you see just a really, really great play from Gage. If we can go ahead and rewind it for just a moment, and if we can just focus on Gage in that situation, now that we have laid a little bit of the groundwork as to how many players the Bucs have in coverage in that situation, or the Bengals have in that situation, as well as how many people the Bucs have going in for passes. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. As I said, Fournette goes out. Gage, he is basically going up against this member of the secondary right here at the top of the end zone, essentially. So it is a little inside fake from Gage. It looks like he's going to showcase going inside, shifts it to the outside, and just completely cooks his man. Now, this is a rookie defensive back for the Bengals, but he gets absolutely toasted. Brady recognizes it right away, throws to the top left of the end zone, and it is a pretty easy touchdown. And people will probably underestimate this, but by Fournette going out for that pass, number 23 has to be locked in on Fournette in that situation, provided Gage the perfect opportunity to fake that inside, go outside, kind of like almost like a fade type of route for the touchdown. Fantastic route by Gage, fantastic throw by Brady. They cooked number 29 in that scenario, and it resulted in a touchdown. So we're going to be getting it from this angle, although I feel like the wider angle was the better angle to see in that situation. So if we can go ahead and go back one more time before we go on to the next touchdown, it really was a great play there. Great designed play, I guess I should say, by the Bucs red zone offense. Give Byron Leftwich credit for calling up that play. It was a good one. So as we can see here, again, Fournette's going out, and this defensive back is fully locked in on Fournette. Now, Fournette didn't go out for a route. If he was just blocking, that member of the secondary could be keyed in right here, and, I mean, there'd probably be no chance for Gage. There would just be so much coverage going on in that end zone. It'd be very tough for the Bengals, or very tough for the Bucs, to find any type of way to score. Fournette goes out, draws this defensive back's attention right here. Gage hits him with that fake inside-outside move. 29's got no chance. The linebacker has got no chance in that situation. It was really more so on 29. Fantastic route by Gage. Fantastic throw by Brady. That was a very good touchdown for the Bucs. Now we have the second touchdown that we are going to be talking about. This one was to Chris Godwin. This is the previous play, so we don't really have to pay it any type of mind, it is a very solid completion to Chris Godwin. Really interesting how Brady targets, which is, it happened in the last play we just looked at, but Brady throws the ball to the guy the play before they score a touchdown, which is really interesting. I don't know if that's like anything for anything. It probably isn't. It's just a coincidence, but I did think it was kind of interesting. So in this situation, the Bucs have 4 people going out wide. You then have Leonard Fournette in the backfield. Tom Brady is back there as well. You've got 5 members of the Bucs offensive line present. So Cade Otton is out here at the top. You can't really see him because I'm kind of covering him up, but just know that this guy right here, that's Cade Otton, right basically behind my webcam that you are seeing. So here you got a little bit of motion from Cade Otton in this situation. It looks like they are feigning some type of run in this situation, but they actually throw a screen to Chris Godwin. Now, right here, this is not a great look for the Bucs. You have 4 Bengals over there with just Mike Evans as your only blocker. That's a ballsy play to call. Mike Evans has to do a really good job of making sure this defender right here and this defender right here are not able to get Chris Godwin, because you've got all these guys keying in. Now, Godwin has the leverage here. He can go all the way to the pylon, basically, and this man right here, number 55 for the Bengals, and this guy right here are going to be tough to get him. But either one of these guys could get to Godwin, and that could very easily kill the play. What happens? As you can see, Evans is able to get his one man. Godwin is able to use his speed to get to the side, and even Evans was only able to hold him for a certain moment. Godwin really had to fight for that touchdown, but Evans did just enough with his blocking to help make sure that the touchdown could get in. Hill and Apple could not get to him in time, so it was a fantastic play by Godwin. He was able to really stretch that pylon, really stretch that edge to his advantage, and Evans did just enough for it to result in a touchdown. Again, look at how quick Brady was with that release. They knew they had to get that pass off as quick as they could humanly get. And as we can see here, you do get a little bit of angle on Evans. He just gets that block. Unfortunately, Godwin does kind of stumble a little bit in this situation. Evans also, unfortunately, kind of pushes the defensive back right into the path of Godwin, but it is just a little bit of a stoppage in what that defensive back is able to do with his momentum to help ensure that Godwin can essentially dive in for the touchdown. So a very solid play by Godwin, very solid play overall. Ballsy play, as I said, because there's 4 guys there who were ready to make a stop on that play. Just enough from Evans, just enough from Godwin to give the Buccaneers and Brady their second passing touchdown of that game. Let's go ahead and jump to the 3rd touchdown that occurred. All right, folks, here we are at the last touchdown that had occurred at the end of the game. I know that this was essentially garbage time, and a lot of people may not see this as anything special, but I did want to cover it because, hey man, we got to cover some positives from this game, right? We talked about some defensive positives. Let's talk about some offensive positives in the form of those 3 touchdowns that were scored. Now, this is the previous play. In this situation, Brady just 100% threw it out of bounds. Hey, the fan did return the football at the end of the day, so shout out to that fan for, being a good guy and returning the football. As you can see here in this play, the Buccaneers have 4 guys basically lined up to go out on routes. You have Mike Evans up here at the top. You can't see him because my webcam is up there. You have Chris Godwin right here, Cameron Brate right here, and Russell Gage right here, who will end up being the recipient of that touchdown. Leonard Fournette is in the backfield as well. So the Buccaneers do also have 5 people on the line of scrimmage. The Bengals only rush 3 in this scenario. Now, I want to go ahead and take it back real quick. Take it back now, y'all, because there is something I want to take a look at here, which was interesting. And the Bucs had some really short fields to work with in the red zone whenever they scored their touchdowns. I mean, all of them were essentially at the 5-yard line, which I thought was interesting. And the quick releases that they had to have was another interesting thing to make a note of as well. Brady was just slinging it as quick as he could in 2 out of the 3 touchdowns that they scored in this game, which is just a little interesting note in my opinion. So as you can see here, Godwin motions down at the bottom of your screen. Brady gets the pass, and boom, just essentially, I mean, it is a slant to Russell Gage, hook, line, and sinker. You have Godwin here kind of almost crossing paths with Gage a little bit, which looks a little bit ugly, and the defensive back recognizes the slant right away to Godwin. I don't know what was supposed to happen in this situation. The Bengals have so many players in coverage. At the Buccaneers, only 4 players going out for routes. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Bengals covering 4 Bucs. So that's a really tough situation for the Buccaneers offense. Even this defensive back right here recognizes the slant essentially as soon as it's thrown to Russell Gage. He just isn't able to make the tackle on that play. It was a little bit of a misread by the defensive back there, and Gage was able to sidestep him and still get into the end zone. So all in all, it was almost a really good play by number 23 of the Bengals there, but he was just a little bit off in terms of his timing making the tackle on the play. We're going to take one more look at it. It was just hook, line, and sinker designed for Russell Gage there. 23 did a fantastic job of recognizing it. Gage brings it in and just dives right into the end zone. Almost a really decent play by number 23, but all in all, the quick release of Brady threw off that defensive back's timing. He wasn't fast enough for the quickness of that play. Did a good job of reading it, but was just a step too late in terms of getting to the play, getting the tackle, and it resulted in a Gage touchdown, which you got to give Brady props for the timing of that throw, for Gage for being ready for that throw. Just the timing and execution of such a quick pass and such a quick route really was good in that situation. I know that it was garbage time and people may not look at that as a huge positive, but in my opinion, I still want to highlight good offensive plays when they happen. So those were all 3 of Brady's touchdowns that had occurred in this game. 2 to Russell Gage, which was really a great thing to see. Very happy to see Russell Gage get 2 touchdowns and overall have a pretty solid game in this matchup. Hopefully, this is a sign of things to come for Gage, not just for the remainder of this season and possibly even the playoffs as well, but you also got to remember that Gage is still under contract for a couple more years with the Bucs. So hopefully this is how they use him more in the future, just a lot more creative and quick ways to get the football in his hands. And also Godwin and Evans doing their part on helping score a touchdown as well. Always a good thing to see. But anyway, folks, let me know your thoughts and opinions about these touchdowns down in the comments section below. I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.